Hello, everyone. I'm back. It's been a bit, and my voice is starting to come back. I know I normally don't sound like this, but as some of you know, I may be clearing my throat because I just had a rough week. Being sick. You can call it sick, but I call it. Oh, I spilled something. Oh dear. Well, let me try and wipe it up with my sweater. That's all right. It's just water. But I had a bout with a very nasty cold. It wasn't really a flu. But I felt it was like a mini COVID. Um, because I've had COVID twice now in the last 3 years, and this it was it's going around, especially here by me. I'm in Wisconsin, and there's this mini COVID. It'll come out negative on your test, but there's a mini COVID like virus going around, and where you're like weak for 3 or 4 days, like weak, like you're literally exhausted. Your bones and your muscles just ache, and it's just horrible. And so I literally had a timeout from life, and I didn't work at all. I tried to work on some readings, but I stopped, and I realized, I'm not going to do these readings when I'm in such a low vibratory state. And then during this time, some healing work came up within myself, and I needed to do some inner healing. A lot of times when we get sick, usually, we become humble. We become it puts us in a state of reflection, and sometimes that state of reflection can bring up emotions and trauma that hasn't been healed, and you find yourself reacting to things a little more sensitive than you normally would if you weren't sick. And then we had the Cancer full moon on top of this. So I was like, I feel passionately, but it's really hard for me to cry in front of other people. Now, I wasn't with anyone. I live alone, but I was voice messaging with friends and stuff, and on the phone, and there were a couple times where I was getting really emotional and crying, and I don't normally do that. And I really needed to release some stuff that I have been feeling, some frustrations, um and then one night I was doing I was kind of like in the state of like half awake, half asleep, and I was, I'm not feeling too good. I have a fever. I could feel my temperature going up, like my body was, my forehead was so hot, and I didn't have a thermometer, so because my thermometer is like the battery is dead in it, so I didn't know what my temperature was, but I knew it wasn't too bad. That I would need to go to the hospital or anything. So I'm like laying in bed, kind of half in and half out of stuff, and I was talking to a friend earlier that night about um What do I need to release? What is this illness bringing up that I need to release? And my friend, she's like, well, I noticed, you know, I know you're trying to step more into your feminine, but maybe there's something that needs to be healed yet for that to happen. And I had made a post on Facebook in when I was in kind of a mood where I was reflecting and I'm not having pity on myself, but just a lot of people that I know are having a lot of their dreams come true. And it's hard for me. Like, I talk about manifest, you know, I taught them how to manifest. And yet my life is not where I want it to be. Not fully, you know, and my dreams are not, I'm still working on my dream. Why am I still working on my dream? And where these people are like manifesting their dreams like this, and I'm like, I'm still trying to get there. Like, why? And so I had this moment of like frustration, like, why 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 am I not in Arizona yet? Why do I not have my person, my counterpart? I'm 45 years old and I still don't have my counterpart. And the man who I thought was my twin flame ended up being a narcissist sociopath and brought so much toxicity into my life, but also a lot of lessons and things that I needed to learn. You know, so he was a great teacher in that aspect. But at the same time, I'm like, the last 2 years, I've been working hard on this journey and manifesting a better life for myself. And so I had this moment of like, why is everybody else's dreams coming true but not mine? And I'm like, I know it's a lot of a lot of dreams have come true for me. So that's not entirely true. But my big dream of living in a place where I feel truly happy to live in, and I don't feel happy here. I'm not 100% happy. Like, I'm not satisfied with where I am right now. And that is my hardcore, honest truth. I'm not satisfied with where I am right now, where I'm living. I'm not satisfied with who I don't have in my life. You know, you know, I have moments where I'm like, I'm okay being by myself, you know, and then I have moments where like, I'm tired of being alone. I have to do everything alone. And, you know, I had this awakening moment where I'm like, I'm tired of being alone. I'm tired of why aren't my dreams still not happening? Was it a mistake for me to invest in this RV because it's not selling right now at the price that I need it to sell? I need it to sell above $9,000, but nobody wants to buy it for that price because they want to try and get it as cheap as absolutely possible. I've had people message me and be like, try and talk me down and give me all these reasons on why I should sell it for them dirt cheap. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but no, I'm not selling it dirt cheap. I've already put $2,000 of repairs and not just repairs, but oh, sorry. But also made it look super nice and fixed it up, and it looks beautiful now and not trashy. It looks like a little mini home, and it needs tires replaced, and it a guy was like, it needs a generator. It came with a generator, right? I'm like, yeah, well, I bought it without a generator. And it does not need a generator to run. As long as if it has a plug-in, it doesn't need a generator. A generator is a good backup. Hold on, I need a cough drop. Anyways, I can go all into that. But so I was doing a lot of reflection, and I was going back to when I was laying in bed. And for some reason, I felt like calling out to my birth mom. And I had done some healing with her already. She had given me up when I was 9 months old. And 9 months old, you know who your mother is. You have that emotional bond with her. You know, I'm left with strangers, and I never see her again. Do you know what that does to a child? That's why they say, if you are going to adopt a child, it is best that you adopt them shortly after birth. The older they are, the more trauma they have, the harder it is to have a child that doesn't need healing. Unless you are the type of person that knows how to deal with children that are traumatized, you should not be adopting them. Or if you get them some therapy and help, you should not be adopting a child that I'd say is 1 year old or older. Because they are going to have abandonment issues, they're going to have separation anxiety, they are going to have insecurities, they are going to have fears of your love. They are not going to believe that you love them. It's going to take years and years of your actions to prove that you love them. Okay. Now, as an adopted child, thankfully I was adopted 2 months after I was left with the foster services. And I was adopted at 11 months old. Wonderful parents. I had great parents and a good upbringing. I had a happy childhood for the most part. And, I grew up in the 80s. It was great. And my parents did everything that they could to be really good parents. And so for many years, I often wondered about my birth mom. Now, she was young. She was 19 by the time she gave me up. She was 18 when she gave birth to me. No, she was 18 when she got pregnant, 19 when she gave birth to me, and I think 20 or almost 20 when she gave me up. So her partner, her boyfriend, had just died in a motorcycle accident. He was not my father. We found out years later. We find out years later through Ancestry that the man she was telling everybody was my father was not my father. Yeah, that's a whole nother story. It was actually her ex-boyfriend from high school that she had a fling with after they had broken up months earlier. And that's my dad. So she gave me up because she was overwhelmed, and her mother had also just passed. My grandmother died in a car accident. So, and then she had 5 younger brothers and sisters to take care of. So yeah, she was overwhelmed, and she gave me up. I never doubted that she didn't love me, but sometimes I wondered if I wasn't. There were moments where I wondered if, I wasn't good enough. Was I an ugly baby? Like, why didn't she love me enough to keep me? And then even after I learned everything about the whole story, the truth of who my father was, and I met some of my birth family and all that, I still wondered, like, I think she really knew who the father was, but she didn't want anybody to know. I think she knew. Deep down in my gut, she knew that I was Wayne's daughter, but she didn't want anybody to. Once she had made up this lie, she couldn't go back and change it, because the thing is, the guy that she was telling everybody was my father. Their relationship was constantly on and off. This is what my aunt told me, that she was trying to get back with him, but he was not being, he was reluctant to go back to dating her. And so then she got pregnant by Wayne, her ex, and then goes back and tells everybody she's pregnant with him. And so a part of me wonders if she got pregnant on purpose to trap him, to get him to be with her. And a lot of young women do this. So they do this so that their man will stick around. And this is deep, deep rooted insecurity and fear of abandonment. It doesn't matter how wrong the guy is for her. They will go at great lengths because they don't want to be alone. Or they don't want to appear like they aren't worthy enough. And so I thought about this whole triangle. I was laying in bed thinking about this whole triangle, and it's like, and I'm like, I'm still learning to be safe within a romantic relationship, feeling safe of another man, of a man's love for me. Like, my next relationship, am I going to feel safe in his love? I want to so badly. I want to feel safe in his love. But then I have this underlying fear, like, am I going to feel safe in his love? Like, I don't know. And then I realized the root of this. Because here's the thing, when I was 27 years old, and I was in love for the first time he said that he loved me, and he was like serious about it. He was holding my head in his hand, and he's like, I love you. And I just had a panic attack. I was literally having a panic attack. And he was like, what's wrong? Are you okay? Like, I couldn't explain to him. I didn't even know myself what was wrong with me. I didn't understand why I was having a panic attack it's not that I didn't love him, not that I didn't believe him, because, well, actually, no, I didn't believe. I believed him, but I wanted to believe him, but then I didn't. Like, it was, I had all this weird mix of like deep layered thoughts in my head going, he's probably lying to you. He doesn't really love you. He's just saying that, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, why don't you, do you not believe me? And I'm like, I want to. And I'm like, here I am, young and just wanting, I was crazy about this guy, And so anyway, now I know where it's rooted from, because I was born out of love that was not safe. I was born into a situation where my mother didn't feel safe in the love that she wanted from these men, my father and this other guy. I was born out of that. So, and she probably carried that, with me while she was pregnant, while she was pregnant with me, and after I was born, and she just didn't feel safe in this love the whole time, from conception to birth and through after my birth. It's like, no wonder. I look at my life and all my love life that in my past, and I'm like, it's no wonder I've done some of the things that I've done. The fear that I've had in love, no wonder. It's deeply rooted. And some of you could probably look back and think like, oh my gosh, does it really stem from that? Yes, it does. I grew up in a loving home. My parents loved me. They showed affection to me, my adoptive parents. So it's not from them. I know it's not from them. They had problems with their own relationship. My parents had their own issues, but as far as when raising us kids, like, they were very loving. They took care of us, they provided for us. They were great. They were teachers. My parents were elementary school teachers. And they taught us a lot about life, culture, people, and they showed affection to us. So it wasn't like this anxiety of this, and the thing is, like, my sister, who's also adopted, but she's not a blood sister. She's married. She married her high school sweetheart. She didn't have a problem with love like I did. So why? But she did have trauma as an infant, but she was also adopted a lot earlier. She was 6 months old. Oh no. She just turned 9 months old. When she was adopted, I think. But social services had to take her from her parents, so that's a whole nother story. And it wasn't a good situation. But that's her privacy, so I'm not going to talk about it. But it's like and I was like, why do I have a problem with relationships? Like, why did I have all these problems with relationships? Why did I allow men into my life that didn't treat me right? There were a couple that did. But due to life circumstances, we ended up not staying together. And differences in views and lifestyles and stuff like that. But most of the men in my life did not treat me with respect. And they were manipulative. They were selfish. They saw me more of an object than a person. And I allowed that to be my concept of love. And it's like, why? Why did I do that? It stems from my birth mother. Okay, so once I figured that out, and this past week, I figured it out. I have a drink. When I was in that moment laying in bed and I was half awake, half asleep, and I asked my higher self to show me a moment of me, bring me back to a moment where I was a baby in my mother's arms. I want to see that moment from myself as a baby. And they did. They showed me this moment where she's singing me a lullaby. And I see her looking down at me, and I can feel her love for me. She did love me. And I have my hands waving at her. I'm putting my hands up to her face, and she's singing something. I can't make out the words, but she's singing a lullaby. And I tell her, I love you. I forgive you. I love you. I forgive you. It's okay. It's okay. It's going to be okay. I said this to her, and then I saw tears running down her eyes. And it was good for me to do that and to be in that moment again. And let me tell you, it was so releasing. And did I say anything else? I thought I did. I said, I love you. I forgive you. It's okay. It's okay what you did. I'm not mad. I'm not angry at you. And there was a moment of just like awesome peace. The next day after I did this, it was like I was feeling a fog of like this. Lately, I've been feeling a fog of uncertainty over my future. Why, like, I thought I'd be in Arizona by now and getting frustrated, and I've been like, I can't see. Why are things so foggy lately? All of a sudden, it was like the veil just lifted, and it just became, there's this clarity about certain situations and people and where my life is supposed to go. Yes, I will be in Arizona. I'm 100% sure of that. This year, people keep asking me when. I don't know when. I know it'll be when everything falls into place, and it's not that time yet. It will. I know it will. And I need to stop worrying about it and just letting it go, and knowing that it's going to happen. And it was like this veil just dropped, and I could see things for what they were, and about certain connections and people that I know and that I was kind of confused about. But I have clarity on that now, and I know I know exactly why I'm supposed to go to Arizona. I know 100% why. And I will get there because I'm supposed to. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you. I feel like that this last release and healing that I needed to be done was what I needed to do before before heading out to Arizona. So yeah, it's coming. And I could say I do need a miracle with this RV. I need it to sell at the price that it is. And I know that it will, to the right person. So I'm gonna have another drink of water. Like my retro glass. Isn't it awesome? Ooh, look at that. Wow, that's so beautiful. That was my ring. My gosh, look at this. Oh yeah. Look at that. That is just gorgeous. Anyway, I'm going to do some tarot cards. And then I have to get on with my day. I have to do some readings. Slowly getting my voice back, guys. So yeah, I just wanted to share some of that with you. And it's how this inner healing is so important. It's so important for us right now in this ascension process, because we need to clear the layers. It's like an onion, okay? Clear the layers with every wow, it's so beautiful. It's my sun catcher. I have a sun catcher. Plus I have this Brahma lamp, but I don't think the Brahma lamp is doing that. But it's the sun catcher. It's so bright that you can't see the sun catcher, but yeah. Anyway, it's so important for us to do this healing because your vibrations can't rise until you go through the layers like an onion, peeling them off, each layer. Okay, now what about this layer? This needs to come off, and you need to sit in it. You need to see it for what it is, and then you need to heal it. You need to know who do you have trauma with, that you need to make the connections, and you need to visualize and go within and heal that, whether it's a moment in time, whether it's something that needs to be said to a person, whether it's a visualization. You could if they are deceased, you could meet with them in astral and meditate with them and do the healing together. I tried to do that with my birth mom, but my higher self told me she's already reincarnated. So I couldn't do it, but I did talk to her higher self. And then I asked her higher self to show me. I need to go back to a moment from when I was a baby with her in her arms. I need to know who she was to me. Who was I to her? Okay? It's very important to do that. Trust me, once you do all these healings, you are going to level up. You will level up. And when you level up, you can do amazing things. You could do beautiful things. You can heal people. You can help others through their trauma by teaching them how to do this work for yourself, you know? All right. So I got this card. The Dream Walker. Dreams, the collective good, illusions. The Dream Walker. Our dreams can show us the truth of things. They can reveal the truth of certain connections, things that you're feeling, things that are about to come, things that are happening. Pay attention to your dreams. Write them down if you have to. Record them in your phone if you have to. There's symbolism in dreams. Oh, this one. The Eagle King. The big picture. Angelic help. We need to look at the big picture. Some of you may be feeling like I am or was. You know, my dream isn't happening. I'm trying to make my dreams come true and it just isn't happening. It's taking forever. You need to look at the big picture. Ask for, angelic help. Ask for help. Ask your higher selves. Ask your angels to assist you to make your dreams come true. I want to help others. I want to live in an abundant life while helping others. I want to be happy while helping others. They will be more than happy to assist you, but you need to allow it and you need to believe in them. You need to believe in yourself. You need to believe in God, that they all want the best for you because you are loved tremendously, and you need to believe that you are loved tremendously. That is a huge part of faith and manifestation and creating a beautiful life around us. All right, I'm going to get another card. One more from this deck. Ringmaster of Scrutiny. Discernment, clear vision, and details. You need to discern what is right for you and what is wrong for you. You need to be able to make that discernment and the decisions. What feels right here? If you're feeling something in the tummy, butterflies, and you're having doubts and you're unsure, then don't decide anything just yet. Okay? Don't decide anything until it feels right here. Also, it says clear vision. Don't make decisions on visions that are foggy. I wanted to do another deck, but I'll do my dragon deck. We'll do 2 cards from the dragon deck. Or 3. Temperance. Number 14, Temperance. Let's see what Temperance card is. the interplay of yin and yang, unification. The reconciliation of apparent opposites. Yin and yang are not actual opposites, but rather two sides of the same coin. Probably the balance of masculine and feminine. That's what I needed to do with myself. I needed to balance my feminine with my masculine. And lately I've been more in my masculine because I've had to leave a 10-year toxic relationship. I was in my masculine energy more because I've needed it. I've needed it to push myself. I've needed my masculine to stand up, be strong, take charge of my life. But it's now I feel like it's time for the masculine to kind of come down and let the feminine come up a little more. Probably not balanced, but maybe a little more. But at the same time, because I'm single, this masculine still needs to be here. And then when I find a partner, that masculine can come down a little bit more, and I can rest a little more in my feminine. This is the thing, like, single women, you'll find them a lot more in their masculine because they're trying to make up for the loss of the masculine in a partner that's not there. So women who are safe in a relationship, feel good, and with the right person, they are able to be in their feminine a lot more. They're able to be more in their feminine. Okay? And I've been trying to figure that out the last couple years. I was like, I figured it out, but I mean, it's like I was like, why am I not more feminine? Like, now I know why. So, if you are healing from a hurtful, toxic relationship, or you are in a marriage where it is like that, I'm so sorry. Your masculine energy is going to be a little bit higher than your feminine because you are in a protective state, and a masculine is protective. Masculine energy is protective, more of a take charge, protective energy. Once you go through the healing and that feminine energy can come back up, you'll become more balanced, and then you find that right partner, and you'll be able to get more into that feminine energy. Oops, I lost my place here. When we find harmony in places that once held contradiction, we naturally move to a higher vibration and find a deeper level of inner peace. It's what I was just talking about. I might need another cough drop. This is how bad this cold was. I have to go back. I have to go into my work, my 3D job tomorrow. With this nasty cold. It sucks. But hopefully it'll be over soon. The key is seeking moderation in our thoughts, actions, and opinions. Open-mindedness allows us to see the big picture and to have awareness of other people's perspective. When we temper our choices, we gain strength of character and durability of spirit. You must stand in a place of balance with an open mind, you will make more clear decisions and bring otherwise incompatible energies together. To accommodate and reconcile different energies, you must remain centered. Have the courage of your convictions, but be ever mindful of the potential unbalancing effects of the unexpected. And in the footsteps of patience, self-control, and temperance, success will follow. And I believe this was my breakthrough. This past week, I can now step into temperance, being a more balanced, energetic human. I think I'm going to stop there. I don't feel like, because I'm coughing too much and I need to stop, but I need to get on with my readings for today and my work. So I have to get caught up on my Etsy readings. Oh yeah, speaking of Etsy, I am going to be building on my shop this year. That's something else I'm going to be working on. I'm going to be adding more things. I'm thinking about jewelry. This is a necklace that I made. These are all crystals and stones, most of them. Like my little UFO. I don't know why. Well, there's a little rocket here at the bottom of the UFO. Anyway. Or it's probably another UFO that comes out of this UFO. I don't know. But but yeah, I have made necklaces, and I don't have them with me, but I do that kind of stuff. I made it for other people and myself, but I'm thinking about selling them. So I'm going to be putting those on Etsy this year eventually. And also packages of, there's going to be goddess packages of stuff. Basically packages of for different things. And they will include a crystal, a mantra, and a reading, and a drawing all together to create something healing for a goddess. You know, for you to help you step more into your goddess energy. So it's something like that. That's what I'm working on. Yeah. So also, one more thing. Sometime this year, for 2023, once I am out there in Sedona, that's my goal. Once I'm out there, I have a very good friend. She's in Oahu, Hawaii, and her and I were thinking about doing a dual tarot reading and conferencing week. It'll be a weekly thing here on YouTube, and her and I are going to connect the energies with Sedona and Oahu. That's where she lives, and she's my soul sister. And yeah, but that's not going to be till a little bit, maybe, I don't know, maybe a few more months from now. Well, until I'm in Sedona. So, because I want the energies of Sedona and the energies of Oahu to come into what we put out. And it's going to be fire. It's going to be awesome. My readings and her tarot stuff. Well, we both do tarot, but you know, it's going to be really great. So, lots to look forward for 2023. A lot of stuff's going to happen. A lot of change. A lot of beautiful things. And I'm so looking forward to it. So I hope you all have a beautiful week. It's Monday. Enjoy these energies. We're getting blasted with solar flares. It's great. There's so much clarity, so much energy, and I'm feeling good. Even though I'm coming out of this sickness, like I feel good. I feel good. Hopefully I'll get my voice back. So I love you all, and I hope you all remember, do the best you can do. That's all you can do, is do the best you can do. Love yourself, love God, and love others, because that's where the magic happens. Bye-bye.